I believe that every situation we are ever in, even if it feels traumatic or feels like a hurdle we have to go beyond, or it feels like a struggle, all of these struggles and hurdles and disappointments in life are strengthening your ability to decide what you want in life. Your ability to decide, this is what I want, this is what I don't want moving forward. Hello guys, and welcome back to another video here on the Girl Pill Perspective, where I give perspective of my life, my journey to awakening, and everything in between. I am so happy you have shown up and that you are here. Welcome. Welcome if you are new. Welcome to this journey I'm on. Welcome to my life. Welcome again if you have been to my channel and you've returned to another video. Thank you so much for showing up for me and showing up for this channel. It helps expand this channel to reach more people. I am super grateful. I am so happy you are all here. So in my last video, I spent a little bit of time really honing it. I mean, I honed in on a lot of different topics in my last video, but the gist was really moving through this anxious energy when it comes up and really trying to anchor more into your aligned energy and how to make better decisions from a more aligned, grounded place. I want to talk a little bit more and expand a little bit more about a topic that I had sort of mentioned in the video. It's about really living in this 3D world reality and being in this state of like expanding spiritually, expanding your awareness to like larger levels. It can seem really hard to exist in both this world because it feels so dense and it feels so political and hard, and there's so much that you have to do on a daily basis. You have to make money, you have to, feed yourself every day. I mean, we still live in this 3D reality, even though we are expanding spiritually, we are expanding as a human, as a soul experiencing this world, right? And I spoke a little bit about it's hard to gain that clarity when you're in that anxious place. It's hard to really ground in your superpower and your empowerment when you're not grounded, okay? Being in that anxious energy, it's only going to pull you into your mind. And your mind is going to make decisions from an ego-based place, right? From a place of anxiousness or fear or unworthiness or doubt. It's going to shift you into those lower states of thinking about yourself. This could be from your past, okay? I know in my past, a lot of unworthiness, doubt about my worthiness in the world, both professionally and love, everything in between. I have to really know that I have to gain that clarity within first in order to make more grounded action in my life and decisions in my life that is of my highest and greatest good moving forward. In my past, I've taken a lot of decisions, especially in my work life, making rash decisions, going into certain work environments or workplaces that didn't align with my spirit in the moment, but I was doing that because I was grasping for that, that obtainment of, feeling secure, of having money in my life. I know at least for me in my life, manifesting money has not been the easiest avenue for me. I have had to sacrifice myself in a lot of ways, work a lot of jobs that, I didn't have to, or because of my background and because of, living in an environment with a narcissistic parent, I people please a lot. I would overwork myself, pick up the slack from other people. I was always sacrificing myself over really gaining that grounded energy, that grounded sense of self, of how I wanted to move forward. This comes with not having a lot of self-trust, having that trust in the divine and God and, the goddess, whatever you believe in. It's gaining that empowerment within and that trust with myself and trust with my higher power, with God, with the goddess, right? I believe that every situation we are ever in, even if it feels traumatic or feels like a hurdle we have to go beyond, or it feels like a struggle, All of these struggles and hurdles and disappointments in life are strengthening your ability to decide what you want in life. Your ability to decide, this is what I want, this is what I don't want moving forward, right? This is your ability to decide what's true for you, okay? I've spent so many times in my life, I mentioned this in my last video, about putting too much, trust in this love and light, fluffy spirituality, okay? Like, nothing is going to move forward if you do not take that stable, grounded action forward. I can say and give it to the universe and it'll show up for me in divine timing and all of these things, like God will take care of it, just surrender, but you have to take action, okay? There's so many times in my life, and there's stories in my part series that I will go into about my journey to awakening and how I've gotten to where I am and how I've gained the wisdom and awareness that I do today. But I can tell you, my journey over the last 7 years, I probably could have cut and shaved off years had I just realized my own true power, my own truth, my own inner strength and trust within my own path, and being able to make decisions for myself and gain that deeper empowerment every time I chose me and chose this path for me. I would have gained more ground in my life, I believe. Do I believe that my life should have worked out a different way? No. My life has worked out in divine timing for myself. In every lesson I've had to learn, I've learned it when I'm ready to learn it, right? That is the other thing. We cannot push, moving through difficult things or, moving through this shadow work that we have in our life that we want to embody and move forward, right? I cannot force healing. I cannot force certain lessons to be had in my life. Sometimes it takes taking empowered action, thinking I'm making the right move, and then falling on my face again. And that has happened in my life. Have I spent time in my life cursing the universe, thinking he's out to get me? Yes. Okay, trust me. I just know I'm a control freak, stubborn. I'm just the type of person that it has taken me lesson over lesson, and God putting me in places to show me, how are you going to show up differently? I'm putting you in the same position. How are you going to take action forward to gain a different result? Okay? Your life is a beautiful unfoldment of your own healing, of your own transformation. There is no rushing it. There's no time period. There's no finish line. We're always healing and evolving. No one is ascended to this masterful place that does not exist. Okay? It is one step and one foot in front of the other each day to pave that path and become more empowered through our decisions, our grounded, aligned action forward, to be that person that we know we can show up and be. And I just want to note here that being on this journey back to self, this self-realization, this awareness that we're gaining, and this spiritual expansion that we're stepping into, doesn't mean that we dehumanize our life on this planet. We are human beings living on this planet with a soul, okay? There's no 5D to ascend to. There's no fluffy world that we're going to. This is all about your own consciousness, your own development, and your own consciousness rising, okay? This is just you stepping into higher levels of consciousness, okay? It's okay to be of this world and still be a very spiritual, aware person, okay? I have a cocktail every now and again. I listen to rock music. I am still in this world. I am still human, okay? I have a soul and I'm expanding, but babe, you're human. We are human. We're just trying to expand and learn and gain lessons to help evolve our soul for our next reincarnation, or, whatever you believe in. okay? But I really want to help people realize that like this doesn't have to do with owning a bunch of crystals and being this certain person and eating a certain type of food and dressing a certain way and being a certain way in the world. That means that you're spiritual. It's like, no, you are a spirit, but you're living a very human experience. So be okay with, being very human in this world, okay? Sometimes, especially for me, in order to integrate, I kind of have to sit in those lower energies for a while. I kind of have to be in those like grievy lower energies in order for me to really like let go and surrender those energies and restabilize and then enter into a new energy. So like you're going to feel really, really low points, okay? You're going to feel really, really high points that make you feel so good. But know that you're always evolving, and just because that you are living a very human experience, or you're doing things that you're like, oh, I shouldn't be doing that because that's bad for me, or whatever that is for you, just know that you're still a beautiful, spiritually aware human being living in this beautiful experience on planet Earth. Like, you're exactly where you need to be, where you are right now in every moment. Like, there's nowhere you need to be. There's no certain type of person you need to be. I just really want to hammer home that you're here, you're human. We're living this beautiful experiences, and it's going to become with very deep lows and very high highs. But in order to make those deeper decisions and aligned decisions for yourself in your life, there's a certain empowerment and embodiment that you have to have in order to make those larger decisions for yourself, okay? If you're still mentally operating on loops of I'm unworthy and I'm not good enough, and there's like, for me, there's loops of my mom playing in my head, like you're not thin enough, you're not good enough, like you have to marry rich, you can't obtain wealth on your own, like all of these lower kind of like degrading thoughts that can loop in your mind. If those are still running the show, there's no way clarity can come in if you're still operating from the old, videotapes and tapes that keep running in your head, right? Because then that's going to loop, and then you're going to make decisions from that anxiousness, from that disempowerment. And then the decisions you make aren't going to be for your highest good. They're going to pull you back into the loop of disempowerment, or, people pleasing, or putting you in a state where God's like, all right, I have to show her the same lesson again, like it's just going to pull you back into the same routine, into the same lessons, until you finally find it and you really actualize it and you go, wow, I don't want to play this tape anymore. I don't want to run this loop again, right? And it's in those actions where, when those loops start playing, that's when you say checkmate. That's where you say no more. This is when you decide, in that moment when they start to play, this is not me anymore. That is the old version of me. Those tapes aren't me. Those were belief systems that I grabbed onto, but that is not me and who I want to be moving forward. So this is about really understanding in the moment. That's where healing is. This is what I talked about in the last video. This is where the healing becomes more embodied. This is when you decide in that moment, enough is enough. And then you start to take action that is aligned with your soul, with your soul purpose, with your soul. And then you make decisions that are more powered with who you are becoming. Okay? But with this takes a huge amount of consistency, discipline, and furthering your healing in real time. This is about healing every day and every moment, every decision that you make in life. Whether it is, oh, I really should meditate and journal, but I'm just going to scroll through social media this morning. These are small decisions we make every day to gain deeper empowerment within ourselves. This is a discipline, okay? To choose you, That doesn't mean, skimming on social media is bad for you. I do it every day. It's fine. But am I taking action every day to show up for you guys? To film, to journal, to gain deeper empowerment within my own self and my own psyche. It's about making decisions for yourself every day that furthers your empowerment. It's about making decisions every day that are grounded in that aligned action moving forward for yourself and for your future. It's each day knowing that you have to ground and implement this new version of you every single day. In order to really surrender to your path, to life, and make those aligned actions, you have to implement and anchor that new you every single day. I can tell you there's a lot of different times that if I had just kept anchoring that new version of me, my path would have shifted for the better had I known that. In those times, I wasn't ready to. And that's the other thing. Give yourself grace. I told you, give yourself a lot of compassion, because sometimes it takes 2 or 3 times to get through one lesson, because you're not ready to see it clearly, right? It takes like an immense amount of awareness to really realize and actualize what's happening in your life and how disempowered you can be in a certain situation or on a certain path that you're on, right? This is about showing up differently when your past comes back up. When the loops start playing again, this is how showing up to your new life and in this discipline every day is going to shift your life for the better. Okay? So know that you are living this 3D life. We're living on planet Earth. Don't escape your humanness. We're all human. We're all learning and evolving and healing and doing what lights us up, and realize that you, as a soul, wanted to come here to experience Earth as well. All of it. Whatever you want to do, whatever lights you up, whatever you want to do, in a safe, way, and not like, a hurtful way to others, but whatever really empowers you, okay? I really want you to move forward in those ways. I want you to notice those subtle nudges when those old tapes start playing and those old fears start coming up. That's when you get quiet. Like my last video, I talked about really sitting with what comes up. Why am I feeling this way? Why am I feeling anxious? Why am I feeling anger, fear? Where is it showing up in your body? This is about really tuning in to you, to those deeper aspects of who you are. I know as a woman, we're deeply intuitive. Reach in there. It's all in there, babe. All the answers you seek are within you, okay? So I just wanted to talk and get a little bit deeper about this subject because, like I said, in a lot of ways in my life, had I just anchored more and had more discipline and realized more things about, what was playing out in my mind, and I would have been able to launch forward in my path, I think, a little bit faster. It did. My path opened up in divine timing, and it will for you too, but maybe this will nudge you the next time you're going through a mental loop or something happens in your life. Just know that we have the control. We're in control of our mental and physical selves, right? You have the ability to stop the loops, get quiet, get still, and always turn inward to yourself, to your wisdom within, okay? All right, I think that wraps it up. Thank you guys so much for showing up today. I hope you got something out of this video. It is my mission to create videos that help enlighten your path, lessen the load a little bit on this deep journey of self-awareness and self-discovery. So please subscribe. If anything just hit a note for you or you need clarity on anything, please leave a comment. I will see you guys very soon on my part 1 to my series on getting to know me and my journey back to self. So I hope to see you guys on another video very soon, and I will see you soon. Bye.